Hello everybody, Rekimakshin here, and welcome to the brand new season of the NBA. Now the logo might look a little bit similar, that's because this is the renamed Vortex Draft League. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes between the last season and this season, but we are now no longer the Vortex Draft League, but the Mythic Battle Association. So, it's going to be pretty cool, and this is really going to be like our introduction to all the new stuff that we're going to be trying to do. We've got a lot planned at the Mythic Battle Association, so we'll see just how things go, but this is going to be my team preview for the team that I ended up drafting. Now, when it came down to the team that I wanted to draft, I kind of wanted to play some mons that really seemed fun and try like a playstyle that I haven't not really done much of, which is going to be singles Trick Room for the most part. So as we can see, I've got myself a very slow team. First pick, I went with Mega Chestnut. Chestnut is one of my favorite Generation 6 Pokemon. I'm very happy that it got a Mega. I think it looks really cool. I think it looks amazing. I absolutely love Mega Chestnut. Its stats are pretty fun, in my opinion. It's going to be very fun to use. A lot of defense, some pretty still good attack, but with stab body press. With that defense stat, it is going to be absolutely super fun to use. I'm going to have so much fun using it, especially in Trick Room with my next pick of Slowking. I thought that Mega Chestnut would be able to be very useful in Trick Room, and just a very, very fun Pokemon. I cannot wait to use it, for the most part. Slowking himself as well, though, being able to be used pretty nice as a nice pivot with Chilly Reception, with Trick Room. Can also just spread some like useful status around, can set up future sites, and then I can pivot to like something else. Sylveon, I think, is a pretty okay Pokemon in Trick Room. It's not the fastest, it's not the slowest, but there are a good amount of fast teams, so I'm pretty sure that Sylveon will be able to be pretty much the slowest mon around a lot of the time. Now, whenever it comes to Trick Room teams, you want to have multiple setters. You can't just rely on the one, even if like Slowking himself is a very good Trick Room setter. It can be very problematic if like Slowking goes down, and so then my team is just slow and bulky. So I wanted at least 2 more Trick Room setters, at least one, maybe 2. But I did pick up Cofagrigus as my second Trick Room setter. Incredibly bulky and also very good in Trick Room as well. Being able to spread around status as well. I think Cofagrigus and Slowking can end up pairing very well together, even if they've got very similar weaknesses in the Dark and in the Ghost. Slowking just having the extra weaknesses to Electric and Grass. But I do have a pretty good Dark Resist in the amount of stuff that I have. Words not coming to mind. But I do have some pretty good Dark Switch-ins, able to really not to worry too much about it. Ghost, though, is going to be my big problem. I only do have the Incineroar, but my next pick of Aggron as well seems pretty good. But, my big problem right now is going to be the Ghost types. Even with, the Ghosts of Cofagrigus, Mimikyu, and the Dark type of Incineroar, Ghost is still really going to end up being able to make a lot of use out of its Ghost Stab into my team. So that's going to be, the big problem, something that I'm going to have to really try and play around and into. But as, things were going along, a lot of the good Dark types kept getting taken, and so I'm like, well, I at least need, at least one other Dark type that can work in Trick Room. Incineroar, very good stats overall. It's still got that 115 attack. while losing access to knockoff in champions, I can still, come in, hit pretty hard with Incineroar, but overall, this is just going to be a very bulky team. It's going to be pretty hard to break the team. But this is my main Trick Room course. These 6 months here. However, not all Trick Room cores use just Trick Room. So Mimikyu I have as an emergency Trick Room setter, just in case. But with access to, Disguise, I can always get up that Trick Room. But Mimikyu here is mostly going to be supporting the non-Trick Room side. With Mega Skarmory, Mega Altaria, and Alakazam. Now, Mega Altaria and Mega Skarmory here are mostly going to be around for their hazard removal. Both having access to Defog. Both being able to just clear any hazards. Actually, hold on. Does Skarmory have access to Defog? Still. Let me make sure that I am actually thinking about this correctly. No, Skarmory does not have Defog, so it's just going to be Mega Altaria that is going to be my hazard removal. Okay, so it's just going to be Mega Altaria that's going to be my hazard removal, because Altaria does have Defog, right? Yes, okay. There was pretty much no hazard removal left open, so, it's going to be very hard to play into a lot of teams. I don't have some good hazard removal. I don't have the best of hazards. I've got Stealth Rocks on Aggron. I don't think Cofagrigus gets Stealth Rocks. Maybe Toxic Spikes. Yes, Toxic Spikes. So I do at least have that option there. I think, yeah, I should still have Spikes on Chestnut at least. Yeah, so I do have Spikes on Chestnut if I want to go that route. So I do have some hazard options here and there. I've got Stealth Rocks on Aggron. I've got Skarmory who can set up hazards. So it's not the worst hazard options, it's just not the best. And my only hazard removal being Defog on Mega Altaria is also going to be kind of unfortunate as well. But the good thing about this, though, is the fact that Chestnut and Skarmory can kind of come to any battle. I don't have to Mega them in a battle. So, if I've got Chestnut and, if I got, Chestnut Altaria, I don't have to pull the Mega option on Chestnut. If, I've got a defensive Altaria, I can keep it in the non-Mega form, and I can just kind of relax for the most part. I can run the Mega Chestnut that week if I see the opportunity that, Mega Altaria is not going to be doing the best that week. Even though I bring it to the battle thinking, it might end up doing good, but they end up bringing, stuff that ends up not being the best. Same with Mega Skarmory. Skarmory's base form is a very defensive Pokemon, while Mega Skarmory ends up being a very offensive Pokemon, with a very, very fun stat spread. But Skarmory doesn't need to Mega every battle either. So, if I bring Chestnut Skarmory, I can maybe, start out with, an early Trick Room mode, but I don't have to Mega Chestnut. So, if, I start out with that early Trick Room, I still have to Mega Skarmory in the back to be able to hit pretty hard. Maybe, also just play that more defensive role as well, if needed. Skarmory can go back and forth at the drop of a hat. Same with Chestnut. Chestnut just, getting a lot bulkier. So, it's going to be hard to play into. They really won't know, what type of Mega I'm going to end up using that game. And it's also going to be hard to just play, just because, I've got the options. deciding when to pull that trigger is going to be the big thing. Alakazam, though, I have not talked about Alakazam, but one thing that I do like the idea for with some Trick Room teams is having that fast sweeper in the back after, the Trick Room stuff is all done. So, I've got, my upfront Trick Room mode if I've got, Mega Chestnut, Slowking, and Sylveon, and, they do all their stuff. I can't get up another Trick Room without, perfect play. But I do have Alakazam in the back. With Magic Guard, Focus Sash, I don't have to worry about hazards on Alakazam. So, with its really nice 120 speed, it also should have access to Nasty Plot still. Yeah, so access to Nasty Plot. And then, Magic Guard, Focus Sash. Alakazam's probably going to be my main Focus Sash mon. Because, there's not really a lot of other items that I'd end up using on Alakazam. So, I could maybe run, the Scarf Trick on Alakazam, but it's probably better done on, some other mon. But, maybe Scarf would end up being pretty good one week if, they've got a very fast team. But, I'm excited, but I'm also worried because of my major Ghost weakness. So, I'm not too sure how things will go. I'm going to play my best. I think this is going to be a very fun team, but it's going to be a very difficult team. So, I hope that you all look forward to the season. This is not the only season that's going to be brand new coming to the channel. But I hope that you all are excited, and I hope that you all have yourselves a fantastic day.